All right, we're here for week 3, Lost Caverns of Ixalan League, and we got an old stalwart here of the league, Chris York, playing 2 matches here tonight. Took a mulligan here against Kevin I on an alternate account, thanks to we know why. What's he got there in his hand?
Listen, man, we all know in Ixalan you got pirates, you got merfolk, you got something else, and then we got dinos. It's looking like we're going dinos. We
But
got one more mountain in hand, Lattice, Watley's first strike, everyone's favorite pugnacious hammer skull, and then one more Watley's final strike to round it out with a daring discovery drawn off the top.
but to be clear, he cast a goblin, a pirate, on his as his first play.
Oh yeah, you know how it works. Dinosaurs have to ride something, right?
I don't think that's how it works,
Or
but
pirates have to ride something. Dinosaurs need riders. What's Chris
so
working with?
York, he did have to mulligan a hand that featured quite the doozy. It's not in his hand now, but it's the Chandra Awakened Inferno from M21, the big scary 6 mana Chandra.
Oh,
Unfortunately for him, that's not in his hand here, but he's got a an unsummon also from Offset. He's got a Scampering Surveyor. He's got another Hidden Cataract, and he's got an Abrade that he can cast with his Captivating Cave.
see, that's interesting now. So we had some issues on our side with green mana, but that treasure that he got last turn and the newly found treasure makes the Hammer Skull playable. Does Chris have any answer to this?
Well, he can unsummon his Kite Cell Larcenist and turn that into a treasure again, but otherwise
That
it's gonna be a little bit difficult to get through it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who's mousing over this treasure here. I'm wondering if Chris is
It's not
worried
it's
about.
not York.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna assume we're gonna see this 2-3 going. Is the word 1 or 2 on the kite sail?
Ward 1. So he's got some splashes here in what looks to be perhaps a blue red deck. I see plains. I saw swamp even. So he might be getting creative here with his build. Um, Kevin on the other side, like you said, looks like a straightforward sort of. Well, that's a dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
It's I believe it's a Wolverine as well for some reason. But
I think I saw that when he was casting it. I think the other 2 cards are still the Daring Discovery, and
well,
then the Mercadia from Mom.
well, battles
Mom just doesn't
beware. The
leave.
War Train Slasher is coming after your battles.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like York's going to keep pace here, getting attacked for 6, but attacking back for 6. So
Well, that's a good use of the braid right there.
yeah, a braid on a 4 drop. Yeah, that's how you want to use it. And a nice rare here, the Subterranean Scooter, and he has that unsummon still up, so he may just want to unsummon the 6/6 even potentially just to put a little
Keep the
tempo hit.
tempo up. I mean, that'll be a big hit. Now, unsummon, that's instant, right? Or is
Yeah,
that sorcery?
it's just unsummon is just that's classic. I believe it's all the way back from Alpha. 1 blue mana instant, return a creature to its owner's hand.
Oh, that's
Simple.
perfect.
The simplest
So
magic.
I'm
the
positive Kevin's looking at Watley striking something sometime in the near future. That is going to completely ruin his day.
yeah.
We did draw an escort and a poison dart frog.
Okay.
Looks like he wants to go for a strike. Let's see. He might even try an attack first. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm guessing who'd want to attack. The backside
I
of
think
that
attack
Mercadia, I
would be
believe, was
fun.
the creature that makes two
Yeah,
ones
that's
with
pretty cool.
haste. Yeah.
Yes, what is it like a little anthem to the board?
Yeah, you
Gives everything.
discard a card, you get 2/1/1s, and then all your creatures get +1/+0 and haste. It casts heroic reinforcements, which was a spell from a core set a few years back. So yeah, here comes the dinosaur.
I like this attack here.
It is going to get stunned. So let's see how York decides to play this because he can let it happen and then bounce the battle creature. He can just bounce the hammer skull here. He could chump block, but I assume that's not really something he's interested in. But quite a few options here. In the meantime, we could talk briefly about the players. Kevin, he's become a bit of a feature match regular here in the last few leagues, and I believe he's off to his best start that I can remember at 10-4 here. So he's gonna end the week with a great record, win or lose here. So yeah, here comes the flame, right?
I mean, 10-4 is quite the record. I wouldn't be surprised if he at least top 16, if not top 8, with the current.
Yeah.
momentum he has behind him.
Yeah, so he's played in about 8 or 9 leagues, and he's still in search of his first top eight. And this is it's looking hopeful. In the we're almost at the midway point, so looking strong performance so far. Chris York is middle of the pack, 7-5. So he needs to pick it up this week or next week to stay in it here, and he's gonna try and get to that tonight with 2 matches. So what's left here for Kevin in hand?
Still the two Watley strikes,
Okay.
the Poison Dart Frog and the Wildwood Escort. I
Okay.
forget which set that thing is from. The 5-drop that brings some. Ooh, my.
That's from
Ooh.
Marchant Machine. And Chandra goes back to the bottom of the deck. So it got put on the it got no it got mulliganed, and then it was on top, but now no longer. But I mean, getting a Dragon's Fire
Gotta be
there
wary.
is nice, and he gets a nice attack here, and it's just so easy to hold up this unsummoned.
Yeah, I'm positive Kevin's wary about this. He's not firing off the strike being. Well, now he's firing it off.
But you absolutely cannot put your opponent on unsummon, right? Like it's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I would have no idea. Like, where's that card even from? M20? Like,
Yeah,
no.
like Chris was basically he had priority because of the vehicle. Because the vehicle you always get priority from the vehicle because you can crew it as long as you have an untapped creature. So you absolutely could not put your opponent on that. I mean, in the current format, we have the 2 mana bounce spell, which conceivably you could put in your opponent's hand and play as if they had it, but not an unsummon for sure. Not.
Yeah, I think Kevin's trying to see if there's any way he can have an extra mana to hold up his other Watley strike, but
Looks like he's just
probably
gonna
just chunk
yeah.
two.
But he can hold up the death touch here on the frog. So the kite sail arsonist is not free to roam the airs here. And basically none of York's creatures are can really attack right now.
Well, actually, York potentially has lethal, doesn't he? So he just
He
has
can
to hit for
try.
3, right? He has 3 creatures. He could pump one of his creatures, pump the 2/3, so it deals 4 damage if it hits. We know it's not going
Okay.
to.
Right.
Crew the vehicle, then just swing all. Assuming in his mind Kevin has nothing. That's just lethal.
And he does have nothing then.
Yeah. I mean, York
So
doesn't know this unless he's felt the. Well, no, because I'm pretty sure the treasure's holding priority, so York might not know that he has nothing.
well, you would not get priority from a treasure, but you will get priority from the poison dart frog's ability.
I did not realize treasures don't give priority.
No, if you have nothing to spend the money on, the mana on, then the treasure just sits there. It will not give you priority. So looks like York's just saying, "Well, I'll make you have something," and here's a here's another scary card on top of the deck. So I guess Kevin kind of left himself dead
Yeah, York
here.
at least in more ways than I thought.
he need
Forgot he just threw it.
he must have just he needed to Watley strike something. I guess he just didn't have enough mana. That
Yeah, he needed one more mana. If the frog was out for one more turn, he would have that mana available.
yeah. All right. Well, York figured it out. He said, "Well, all of my creatures can deal 3, so let me attack." Oh, so we got some nice ones here for York. He has Abuelo, the Ancestor. He has Quintorius Khan. He has the Chandra I spoke of. He has the Red God we saw on top. He has, what is that? Immersturm Predator. I think that's from Kaldheim. It's a red-black card.
Oh, is
So
that the guy
he's
that taps for indestructible or something like that?
yeah, it's a 3/3 flying. You could it exiles cards from graveyards. It gets counters. It gets indestructible. It makes your opponent's life miserable. So York is pretty firmly here in a Jeskai deck uh, with that one black card as well.
Interesting. Looks like Kevin's just pretty much straight. Well, I can't say straight as I see. He went past it, but there is one green black card in here. But for most part, everything else is just green red with a random Polani's Hatcher sitting on the side.
On the side, you mean in the deck?
Oh, in the deck. In the deck.
I'm like, on what side? What is this you speak of?
It is interesting he's not playing the diamond pickaxe though.
Huh. That seems to be a good one.
Yeah, like I would think you might play the pickaxe and the torch, at least one or the other, but maybe just has too much good stuff. I mean, he's playing Ronus Monument. What do you think of that card? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Rodas Monument is pretty good. Not all the monuments were stellar, but that one was one of the better ones.
What does it do? I'm going to
It's
assume pumps green
it
creatures.
makes your green creatures cost one less, and whenever you cast any creature spell, target creature you control gets +2/+2 and trample until end of turn.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, so it discounts green creatures, but it triggers off of any creature. Now if you can get
Hmm.
flash creatures, that's where it gets really fun. But in red green, I don't think he's gonna have too many.
Now we have an interesting hand over here. He only has
Okay.
one land, but
Ooh.
interesting. He has Forest, Lorekeeper, Monstrosar. So technically, he has two lands. And then he has Sahili's Lattice to go digging for more, along with
Okay.
a Spelunker, Polani's Hatcher, and another Watley's Final
Well,
Strike.
York's got all of his colors. He's got 5 lands here. Well, 6 lands now. He's got 2 spells only. He's got Dragon's Fire, which is the spell he cast last game. It's just a 3 damage spell, but can deal a little bit more if you have a dragon. And he has Quicksand Whirlpool, which is the 6 mana or 3 mana spell. But he's got a nice 2 drop here with, as we'll see, the Captain Storm, Cosmium Raider.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kevin really wants to kill that, but he drew a Poison Dart Frog. So
So no
for this turn,
land.
it's safe. This turn,
So
technically, he has land on creature.
yeah, so if I'm York here, I'm pretty tempted to kill the poison dart frog. He doesn't know that his. I guess he does know his opponent missed a land. Yeah, he does know he missed a land
Yeah.
because it was Kevin's turn 3. Yeah, and he agrees with my statement here, and he's just gonna play a tap land here. So the rest of his hand, aside from the Quicksand Whirlpool, is all lands, but 2 of them are courtyards. One of them is the Restless Vent, but he doesn't have a black to activate it yet. So
It's going to be a little slower. It looks like Kevin's thinking if he wants to jam out the Lattice or jam out the Spelunker. So if he gets one more land, he can just play Polani's Hatcher on 4. Well, technically 5 since he missed a land.
Well, this should get him there. Yeah.
One
All right,
miss.
there it
Okay, there
is.
we
Yeah,
go.
so York will be able to whirlpool that Hatcher, but that's a few turns away here.
That's only if the Hatcher swings, and by then the damage is already done. You've already gotten
So
two.
yeah, so York sided in a couple copies of Tinker's Tote here, just noting I want the bodies and the life against perhaps this type of deck,
Oh,
and
that is
he's
so
drawn one of
good.
them here.
So good.
I mean, I usually wouldn't advocate to try and curve Captain Storm into Tinker's Tote, but it works here. It worked.
I mean, when it works, right?
It's 3 artifacts, right? I mean, but
Does he
like
have
I
any
said,
other
it's a blue
artifacts that can
red two
cover them
drop
up?
and it's a white 3 drop. So, attempt to assemble this at your own at your own risk, but it certainly was effective here. But
Does he have any more punks to get this 5/5 bigger?
speaking of effective. This is just one of the best cards in the set. Period.
Oh yeah. He does have a kill on it next turn if York cannot grow it any larger.
Okay, he like I said, it's all lands here and another land. So this game is it's spiraling a bit out of control here for York. He kept a land heavy hand, and unfortunately didn't draw well enough out of it here.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Kevin didn't swing there. I would think there's no world where you want to double block this 5/5 when you have 2 Watley strikes in hand.
Yeah, and I mean he's going to be wary to use the Watley strike, but let's see how he progresses here. He's just going to play a big old dinosaur, and that dinosaur will gain haste as well.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, he's just going to whirlpool that, and basically the Hatcher has done its damage, so no use spending a removal on it.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the preferred target for a Whirlpool anyway.
He's got a captivating cave, which he can put counters on something. I suppose he's just better off discovering this turn. I think.
Yeah, he doesn't know putting counters on that 5/5 makes it a very effective blocker until Kevin gets a 6 land, and then he can double Watley strike.
Oh, he just says, "Let me load up here. You may have big dinos, and the bigger my creature is, the less likely a green red deck is to be able to kill it. Right? Green red
Sweet.
usually there's a cap on how much damage you can deal to creatures.
Yeah, I mean Rock Slide's pretty nice because the cap is your lands.
Exactly, which is why I tend to like effects like that. There's a swamp, so So he's still got the what? He's still got two final strikes again. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, two
Well,
final
look,
strikes.
he died with
Desert.
two in hand last game, so he perhaps has learned from that.
Still looking at just oops all lands.
More lands, yeah, more lands, but he will guaranteed get a spell here. All right, so
Yeah,
not a very effective shock here. He can, yeah.
just saying, be a lot cooler if that was a lightning bolt.
Well, we can't all put lightning bolts in our deck and get away with it.
I guess this time you technically could, right? Because it can come from anywhere.
Well, if you end up with a lightning bolt in your deck, I think somebody would
It's
go and do
questionable.
some pool tracking.
So I'm positive we're getting a double Wally's here, unless he can make this Haley's Lattice big enough. But I don't think that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, well, being tapped out here means that Storm can just get knocked, and then this is going to be a massive attack. This is going to be a oh
Huh?
oh
Hello?
no, he's now going to use it
Okay.
to kill the other. He's going to do it
That's
like that.
that's actually pretty good.
He's
I
going to use it to kill two
forgot that
things,
thing is plus.
and now we get just a massive beating here, and unless York has his Chandra right off the top, I'm not sure how he gets out of this. Chandra would deal 3 damage to each non-elemental, so that would be an out. But not looking like anything else is gonna quite do it. And now he can craft the lattice into something, and it will
Size Monstrosaur and the War Tamed.
have
Team.
haste. It will have haste too. So this game looks
Yeah.
pretty finished here.
I can just swing all, yeah. That's lethal, right?
Yeah, it's 13, I think.
One short.
But I mean, I suppose the Chandra is still an out, perhaps. It has to
The
be
shot
right
the
now.
board? Is that
Nope.
like a board wipe?
Yeah, it's deal. It has a -3 of. I think it's -3, but it's a minus. It says deal 3 damage to each non-elemental creature.
Is that the same Chandra from like M20?
It's the big one. It's the big 6 mana one. Yeah.
Okay. The old plus emblem thing.
Yeah. Give opponent emblems. Yeah. So that actually would have been an out because everything is 3 toughness or less, and I don't believe any of them are elementals. So all right. So yeah, just too many lands there for Mr. York. Just a few too many there, and that Polani's Hatcher on time. Actually, ahead of time, I suppose.
Yeah, it was right on time. Technically turn 5, right? Because he missed one land.
Yeah, it was turn 5, so not ahead of time, but on time. Yeah, York. I mean, he has a nice curve here. I mean, we saw his deck be pretty effective in the first game. Just the keep a 5 lander, and sometimes you don't get punished, and sometimes you get punished, and we saw the punishing side of that. Interesting card I see in his deck. Also, Calamitous Caven, which would have also got him out of that mess if he drew it.
Is
And
that the cave board wipe?
yeah, and he could have even discovered into it with his cave land. So
York is just getting spicy over there with the card inclusions.
yeah, I'm into it. He's got a nice looking deck here.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't think Kevin made 0 changes. Just quickly said I like the way that went. Let's just do that again.
He said big dino smash. On to the next thing. And speaking of the cave in, it is in his opening hand here. Only one cave
Ooh.
in hand, but we saw quite a few last game, so good chance he might draw into more. And the rest of his hand is a plundering pirate, a cartographer's companion, and the quicksand whirlpool, and 2 lands. What's Kevin working with over there?
You see the old scallywag on the field, a lattice frog, the monument, the scrappy bruiser from Mom, the Altasar, and then interesting enough, a scheming or starving revenant. I did not see that when he was mousing through his deck the first time.
That's a double black card, no?
Yeah, I'm really interested about that one.
I don't.
But I guess,
does he just have a bunch of poison dart frogs or whatnot?
I mean, he has one dart frog, and scallywag just made a treasure, so
all right.
possible.
It's a 4-mana 4/4 that if you're willing to pay some life can draw you a couple cards.
Yeah, it's like a lesser downside for Descent 8 or something like that. Still same ability?
No. Well, when it comes in, You surveil 2, and for each one you leave on top, you lose 3 life and draw a card. And then if you have Descend 8, every time you draw a card, it's a drain. You gain
Oh,
1, they lose 1. So you'll still
well,
lose 2 life even if you have Descend 8 when you play it.
let's play the card game, Rich. Do you know what that 3 mana signpost uncommon is in green black that grows bigger for descend?
Oh, I think it's +2/+2 and trample for Descend 4, and then another +2/+2 and some kind of evasion. Can't be blocked by more than one creature for
Good
Descend
enough
8.
for me. That's what he
Something
drew for turn.
something like this. Um, yeah, I've despite not playing in the league, I have been drafting quite a bit. So I'm familiar with most of the cards at common and uncommon.
Yeah, I'm assuming with the poison dart frog now that can be played next turn.
Well,
Uh,
the
for a
treasure's gone, right?
no, but he still has a poison dart frog though. So the revenant can't come down,
Yeah, yeah,
but the green black guy can.
yeah. He needs 2 black for that rare, which is a bit of a. I do think it's a bit of a stretch on the mana.
Yeah, I think normally double pips, especially for a creature, not like a removal or like a really impactful card.
Or like a
Is a little
super late game card, you know?
yeah, like if you're splashing for that 8/8 that board wipes and brings everything back, that'd be a
Right.
bit more understandable.
Or like in Mom, people would splash Breach the Multiverse because the card just does crazy
Yeah.
things. And it's a super late game card, right? All right,
Well,
well,
here's a second poison dart frog.
all right. So, I mean, there's a pretty nice Calamitous Cave-In coming here for 1. Perhaps. York might be tempted to just cast his Calamitous Cave-In for X=1 and kill both frogs here.
I mean, that would really, really be detrimental.
I mean, he doesn't really have anything else to do in his hand. He has a Whirlpool and, much like last game, a whole host of land cards.
If he doesn't play the green black guy this turn, that shut off, the Revenant shut off, Altasaur still 2 turns away, Final Strike has 0 targets, and Over the Edge is going to rot.
Well, he didn't cast it pre-combat to get another pump, so maybe he's not planning on casting it.
So
We'll
as
see.
the mana, Akawali, all right, that's the name. He's finally mousing over. I think we're playing it.
Yes, the Seething Tower. I do think it's still kind of worth it to cave in here for 1. It's, I mean, you lose your Cartographer's Companion, but York is seeing opponent is not hitting land drops. I can take advantage of this, perhaps.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1, right?
Well, he loses a Cartographer's Companion.
2-for-2. 2-for-2 with a
But his
map on the
Cartographer's
side.
Companion got him a little bit of value with the map, and these Dart Frogs are gonna be working overtime here without lands on Kevin's side. It's like killing 2 lands, right?
Pretty much. Lands that can kill your ground pounders.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Right. Kevin, I guess didn't see too much value in keeping that guy around. So York is he's dancing around us. He's playing his River Herald Scout here first. So he's a Tinker's Tote.
I mean, I guess if you're going to cave him before playing the tote, now would be the time.
I don't think Tote is like, yeah. He needs a bit more action than that right now.
I don't know
Oh,
what else
he's played his cave and he's just passing. So now his cave in kills most
Everything.
of the board.
Well,
So,
we're getting the Revenant.
Here comes a bit of trouble.
It worked.
I mean, don't try this at home, but here we are. I mean, I like this card. It's pretty good. I do like creatures that draw cards, even if they cost you some life. It drives a hard bargain, this Revenant, though. 3 life per card.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to pay 6 life for 2 cards, but I mean, these cards are pretty good.
I
It's a
usually do.
Ceratops and a Spelunker, but I think he's just going to bend both and say, "I like my life."
Yeah, I don't think I want to put that card in my deck to just surveil too. I think I want to put it in my deck to draw cards. Because in
Yeah,
green
I
red, you don't
think
really
one of
have
these
access to
cards
card
are good.
advantage. I think you're putting it in your deck to draw cards, right? Jade Light Spelunker, I think, would definitely be worth 3 life here. What was the other card?
The triple mana Ceratops.
I'd be tempted to at least keep one of them, and I might keep both. I have a hard time turning down the offer of drawing 2 cards.
That's what I was thinking, but he's just not a fan of Troll at Home, and I get it.
So I wonder if York's thinking, "Damn, I could have just caved in those frogs," or maybe he was never thinking. Maybe he was never really considering it.
I can hear
But
York already. Huh? That's a misstep.
yeah, well, he certainly was not expecting this particular card to come down. Neither was I.
So outside of the cave, does he have any more like interaction in hand?
He has Quicksand Whirlpool and well, sound like a broken record here. 2 more lands.
He's pretty fine then.
So he does have a cave that can deal. The cave now deals 3. So to wipe out basically everything except the big guy here, which is getting whirlpooled probably
Yeah.
immediately.
I believe to back it up, he's probably going to play the Altasaur.
Okay, the panicked Altasaur.
Yeah.
That card's
So
been
not really cards
real
now.
annoying to play against. I found.
I absolutely hate it. If you're in blue white, they have multiple. You just can't get in that damage early enough for whatever reason. This guy just comes down and just says, "All right, good luck."
And it's a win con too.
Yeah, the 2 damage really adds up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this set has, I found, a bit less incidental life gain than a lot of other sets.
Oh, this is good from York. I like this.
So
Softening the
this is
field
the
so he
cave
can
in
see them.
here. He has not seen
Yeah.
this yet, so this kind of just played exactly how York wanted to, because his creatures were dying to the cave in anyway. So he's charting a course first, for whatever reason. Well, 2 more lands off the charter course, so
Are any of those caves, though, good sir?
they don't need to be. No, but they also don't need to be. All right, so what does Kevin have left here? Because we know York has lands.
Final Strike, Watley's, and a War Trained Slasher.
Ah, the Wolverine is back. Okay, he's just gonna use the lattice here to make a large monster. Yeah, that is appropriately gigantic.
Yeah.
That is he's got a Captain Storm here, and he's gonna probably discover here with one of his lands, presumably the blue one.
Ooh, this is
There's a white
good.
one. That's fine also.
So Kevin can. Well, it's not green. Monument only works on green creatures.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah. Granted, that thing can. I forget. Does over the top? Does it doesn't kill flyers? Does it?
No, it's artifact or enchantment. Just gonna play a big old menace here and try and give it trample next turn, I suppose, with a creature. And York's drawn that pesky little unsummon is back.
Oh,
To make things.
this is going to be a pain in Kevin's side.
Yeah,
He wants
this is gonna be a
to
close
strike.
one here, coming down to the wire. So it looks like we're gonna discover again.
So what? Even if you were to get his Sahili's lattice back, it's just in the lattice side, right?
No, it's still the backside. It hasn't left the battlefield. Not.
Interesting.
I mean, I was gonna say Tinker's Tote not the best card to get, but with Captain Storm, it's one of the better cards to get.
Yeah.
You can make your storm bigger than the dinosaur here. Look at this. You could just pile up on the flyer, but that's opening him up for a removal to not get value out of these counters.
Yeah, I think he's fine loading up the storm. I mean, especially when you have unsummon, you need your opponent to just have hard removal.
I mean, he could just attack his opponent here for even more. He could use the unsummon aggressively and get his opponent to what, 6?
I don't think there's a need for it, to be honest.
No, not need
No,
for
your
it, but
opponent's
he
playing a
could.
bunch of combat tricks.
I'm just saying he could. Well,
You're not wrong. He could.
he's getting his opponent to 6 either way, so.
Yeah. Then all that's left in the hand really is a paleontologist. Just drew the Axew though, so we'll see if he wants to go discovering
Okay.
or exploring. I don't know why I always get that confused. I would assume not, 'cause it's going to tie up your mana.
It's because the words have similar meanings.
Yeah.
Mechanically, obviously, we know they're different, but.
Yeah. Discovers what? Just explore on crack?
No, it's Cascade on crack.
Yes.
Enough broken enough to get banned and constructed, as a lot of us saw today.
Yeah, that was a really quick ban. Someone's like, "Has anything ever been banned quicker?" And someone's like, "Well, Lucha was banned before like it even got played with."
Well, that was Commander. I know that the Felidar Guardian, I think it was called, got banned like within a week of being legal because it infinite comboed with Saheeli back in the Kaladesh.
I didn't realize they actually banned that because I know that was a wasn't that a thing on Pioneer for a little bit.
I don't think that I don't think that was ever permitted. Or maybe it was. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
not up
remember.
on
I
that.
tried to.
But here comes the slasher here for 6. See if
Yeah, I mean, he can even just take it.
he could take it. He could unsummon it. I think he wants to save his unsummon for potentially a Huatling's final strike or
Lethal.
something like that.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Also,
He's also got 3 life here from the Tinker's Tote.
well, the biggest thing is you're at 12. Like you're under. Like this thing doesn't kill you, and you have lethal next turn. It's like why not just wait, right?
Yep, he needs to go for the win here.
So here goes the Watley strike, and here's the blowout.
Yeah, and that'll do it. Yeah. So with the counters from the cave, this is looking like lethal, right?
Yeah,
Put the counters on the flyer. Attack
I mean, you can
for
put it
6.
anywhere but the 5/5, right? That's
Well, no point putting the counters on the 5/5.
what I'm saying. Put it anywhere but the 5/5.
Yeah, he was about to cast his god that he just drew, but I think he realized let's slow down a moment here and just win the game.
I mean, he still can get style points. Cast his guy with the treasure, right? Why not? Why not?
No need.
Just let
He's
your
just going
opponent
to be
know.
effective here. So that was kind of a fun back and forth game. The cave in coming in clutch there to pull it in York's favor, and we'll see him back with his deck for our next feature match a little later.